global mobility is one of the areas that is very dear to our hearts at CLA Global in order to provide our people with the opportunity to have fabulously fulfilling career journeys and potentially go and work overseas. And I'm delighted to say that we have the 6 pioneers of our global mobility program here with us today that are in the middle of their secondments and are going to tell you about what they've been doing, what they've been experiencing. So I'm not going to say any more, but I think we're going live to New York City first, Dom. Is that right? Over to you.
We are. To a sunny New York. It's been raining all week. It's been English weather here, but the sun's come out today for this CLA Global webinar. So it's great to meet you all. So my name is Dominic Gibbs, and I'm a global controller out of our New York office of CLA. So previously, I've worked 10 years in the assurance and business services line, so with Helen Bassett at Evelyn Partners, supporting private middle market businesses. So whilst reflecting on the global mobility and secondment process as a group of individuals here, it was very clear to us that we could split our experiences into both personal and professional, and we could review the benefits for both us and the CLA Global member firms. So starting with a secondment to New York. So for me personally, I'd always lived in Bristol, so a smaller town in the UK. So to move to New York was very much a culture shock. The kind of weather, the rent, the cleanliness of New York. I can see Joe laughing there. So I think that for me has enabled me and my family to really grow, experiencing a new culture, experiencing a new company. These are definitely life experiences that I'm always going to cherish and going to use in the future. I also set myself a goal of visiting 15 different states in my 18 months in the US, and I'm on 7 so far. So got a few more to go, but I'm looking forward to kind of letting you all know how I get on with that. And then professionally, I've been very fortunate to work with the amazing Kirthi Manny and Rob Oliver in New York and supporting our global advisory and outsourcing team. So this has enabled me to make so many great connections around the world. A lot of the member firms who are on today, I've met lots of individuals from these firms, and I can't wait to continue to develop these relationships further. But kind of finally, and thinking of this from a professional point of view, I really want to focus on, like everyone said today, the friends we've made. So I'm happy to pass over to one of my friends back in Bristol who's done a similar move. So over to you, Paul.
Thank you, Dom. Yeah. So my name is Paal Proeitz. I'm a manager in the business outsourcing services group. My home firm is CLA US, where I belong to the Minneapolis office, and my host firm is Evelyn Partners, and I'm in their Bristol office where Dom came from. So my photo here, it's the one to the bottom left. That was taken actually just 2 weeks ago from Greece. So this is my wife and me in front of the sunset. We, together with some family members, rented a sailboat, and we were sailing from island to island. And that was definitely, from a personal perspective, my highlight so far. I just love to travel, and this secondment has been a great opportunity to see more places. Then from a professional standpoint, so back at CLA, I was in the global advisory group helping foreign businesses enter the US. And so as part of that process, we always have discussions about differences in doing business in other countries. And that could be anything from compliance to cultural differences. And a lot of the businesses that I worked with are actually coming from the UK. And so the fact that I now get to experience these differences firsthand is just really amazing. So I'm going to pass it over to Matt.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. My name is Matt Lagieski. I'm a manager in the transaction services department here at Evelyn Partners. And my former firm was CLA in the Chicago office, and I'm here in London now. I'm sensing a little bit of a common theme here, and that's how can you not go on secondment without doing some traveling? And I've had the opportunity to do that. I've been able to travel to Saint-Tropez, Barcelona for a weekend. I ran a half marathon in Stockholm. And then in October, I'm also going to Greece. So very excited about those travel opportunities. On the professional level, the photo at the top left there, I had the opportunity to run a 5K with some of my colleagues at Evelyn. which was, fun in itself. But I would say the more enjoyable part was the beer at the pub afterwards. So getting to know my colleagues outside of the office, and then also learning from them, understanding how Evelyn goes about financial diligence within the office has also been rewarding, and hoping to take some of those things back with me to CLA. So Fran, I think I'm going to pass it to you next.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Fran Johnson. I am an audit assistant manager in insurance and business services. My home firm is CLA, and my host firm here is Evelyn Partners in the Birmingham office. When I signed up for the secondment program, I had the hope of getting sort of the best of both worlds when it comes to both personal and professional growth. And I have to say, over the past 5 months, it's really kind of lived up to that expectation. Just for purposes of me, or as part of my role here, I've gone up to Scotland to audit a client up there, and I had never been to that province before. I got to go to Liverpool and see some Beatles landmarks, and also working just generally with people that are not only from the UK but are also from other countries that have come here to Evelyn, like South Africa and Tanzania, and made friends with some of them. And then really when it comes to professional growth, I've been faced with new challenges. I'm working in a slightly different work culture now. I'm seeing clients and industries that I've never really looked at before or audited, and then I'm auditing under new standards. But that's all that I signed up for and what I expected in completing this program. So it was my dream to come here and to live and work in England for this period of time. The program has really made that dream come true. So I truly do feel fortunate and honored to be a part of it. So with that, I'm going to pass it on to Bea.
All right, thank you, Fran. Hi, everyone. I'm Bea Saylo. I'm an audit assistant manager out in the London office of Evelyn Partners, and host firm is CLA. I was out in the Chicago office, similar to Matt. As far as favorite experience so far, I just wanted to highlight the photo in this slide here, minus the top right corner, which was the very first week that we all arrived in London, and it just happened to be the weekend of the King's coronation. So it was an iconic experience for all of us. That was really the first time we've all met each other, and I think that's where we truly bonded from the beginning. And echoing everyone else, the travel experiences have been a lot of fun. Getting to go to Amsterdam a few weeks ago has been the highlight of my trip so far. For the work experience, I think it's all been a huge learning experience, and I think everyone can agree. Especially at CLA, I was mostly focused on the manufacturing industry, and ever since I came here, I've had a chance to do all sorts of clients, ranging from technology to software and all types. So it's all been a huge learning experience for me, and I'm sure Andrew can relate.
Yeah, thanks, Bea. I have the pleasure of coming last, so everyone got to take all the good points before me. And I may not speak as eloquent as everyone else, but very much enjoyed the experience so far. Definitely in terms of the relationships I've been building within the audit teams I sit with, such as doing a daily Wordle or going and having a monthly soccer, football game with the audit team, or the pubs on a Thursday night. So those types of relationships and experiences have been very rewarding, and kind of what I wanted to gain out of this. Audit at the end of the day may be audit, but it was more of the relationships and stuff that we were building. I brought my wife, as you can see in the bottom right, so that's been a fun experience for us as well to travel, as everyone has been echoing, with us flying to Copenhagen tomorrow. So just a really good experience overall. I get the pleasure of hearing Sancho sit right behind me most days, so it's always a pleasure in the office. But we're really looking forward to the rest of our experience here. I know I can speak for everyone else in our next year and a half that we have going. So thank you so much for setting this up for us, and back to you, Sancho.